Oh, there we are. Hang on one moment and I'll just adjust the screen. How are you all this morning? And welcome to Sacred Heart Connections, the segment on I do every Saturday morning at 8:30 on One Million Meditators live. So thank you so much for sending in comments, questions, and just reaching out to me and sharing with me your experiences. So what I'd like to speak about today is more light because I did the meditation that I just did was bringing people into their power and to their beautiful light. So when we call in the light, I'm going to say calling it in because we are actually allowing ourselves with an open heart to call in the light. Now, the questions that I was asked through the week, because I taught a meditation, and everybody in the room actually had an experience with light in one way or another, and they were asking me to translate their experiences for them. So what happens as a channel, and we are all channels, we're all healers, so it doesn't matter, we're all psychic, we're all spiritual. It's just that we haven't been taught to use these powers we have within. And because with what's happening on the planet at the moment, it's time to retreat away and bring in that power. Now, the only way, I was just looking at my hands and they look like they're different colors, and they are. So there's the only way to bring in the light is to make space. So if we're caught up in stress, disharmony, fear, and you would have heard there's a lot being said about this at the moment, but even if we decide that we're going to get on board with some kind of movement which isn't good for us, others, or the planet, we will lower our vibration. And when we do that, we're lowering the vibration of allowing more light to come in. So it's so important for us to stay in our light as much as we can, or be in our light, or take time out to shine our light bright. Now, there are many ways, many ways that we can do this. So for me, and what I teach others to do is make sure that you're around positive people that are uplifters. So they encourage you to be your best. They encourage you to not look at any faults or anything that you've done in the past that you may have made a mistake at doing, or maybe, and we all know I think most people know when we learn from our mistakes, we don't look back. We just go, wow, I learned from that. Let's move forward and keep going. So whatever your experiences are, also, don't let those sort of things hold you back. Stay off social media as much as possible, because unless you are linked in, now there's many groups out there, and I have one, Sacred Heart Connections, but there's many others that I belong to that are light-hearted, unconditional, people that come from unconditional love. They are sharing so much love and light. There's no negativity. It's all about meditating, prayer, making space to bring in more light. So while we're caught up in the news on TV, social media, the negative stuff there, maybe your environment that you live in, maybe your social groups, when there's a lot of talk now. I know sometimes when I go out about what the governments are doing in certain countries, I try and stay away from that as much as possible. A lot of things that are coming to, I'd say, to the light, so they're coming up. These things that have been done in the past that may be inhumane. There might be, recently I heard about some things that were going on in Indonesia, which didn't sit well with me. It was horrific. And someone mentioned to boycott Bali as part of this. And look, maybe that's a good thing or not good thing, I don't know. But, they used people need to rise up against this darkness of what's been happening. So, but if we buy into what's been fed out there in the darkness, it's going to interfere with our frequency. Then those around us will do the same. It'll interfere with their frequency. So the key, another thing that I like to do, like, so if there's discussion about what's been going on in different countries politically, because there's so much of this darkness coming to the light, just sit within yourself and bring back your light, knowing that this has to come forward to show us an option, another way of. So it's about making a choice. Do I want to go that way into the shadow, or do I want to stay with the light? And look, for people who are not open to this, or it's all new to them, and there might be some fear there, or there might be the ego mind or the analytical mind might go, that's not true and that's not right, and I've been told this and been told that. Why don't you just try this for a week? Have a challenge and yourself. What if, tell your mind, what if this is true, that there is a light that we can access, and there are celestial beings, or ETs that they're being called, that we can access, that are here to bring peace and harmony to the world. Ask yourself, what if that is true? So that's all you need to do. Do the what ifs. What if this is true, that I can access the light? Put your hand on your heart and then say to your heart, show me. And because I've talked about this many times before, and in my free meditations and blogs and podcasts, that our heart is the gateway to our soul, our spirit. So what you're doing, you're allowing your subconscious or your mind to ask a question. You're not saying no to it, to that thought. You're allowing it to regulate and process. And what happens then, the mind gets curious and starts to problem solve. So when we say, what if this is true, the mind says, yeah, well, let's try it. So you're no longer in your mind. And then the body, that let's try it, is like a feeling of, yeah, what if this is true? So then that sort of gets transported throughout the body on a cellular level, and you're letting go of, what if this is not true? You're letting go, what if this is true? So then the solution is, because the mind tries to find solutions, it will say, let's try it. Let's see if this works. So for you to step into your power, you need to be mindful of your environment in any one time, whether it's social media, something that you're doing on the computer, your work environment, the conversations that you're having with your work colleagues, the conversations you're having when you're out socializing, the conversations that you're having with yourself coming from your mind. This is how we bring in the light. When we know, when we understand, when we are aware that that's what's doing, when we're aware, we awaken to the light. So I'm going to share my experiences with you, and you can take whatever you want to do with this, and it doesn't matter, because there's no judgment about your judgment, if that makes sense. So what it is, and I respect totally what you say, because this is very powerful, and some people might not be ready to hear this. But I had an experience, most people know about my near-death experience, or you've read it and my experiences. But recently, with what was going on, I was very sad hearing about many things going on in the world, because I know that that's not the way we're supposed to be or supposed to live. And most healers, many healers, light workers, psychics, they all know that that's not the way that we're supposed to be, because we channel information in different ways, and we're very intuitive and sensitive to when we read or see or hear someone having a conversation about that. So recently, about 2 weeks ago, week and a half, 2 weeks ago, I was woken up at 3:30, 2 mornings in a row, but the second morning specifically I'm just going to say it was an ET form came to me, and it told me to step aside from this fear, that they are here now around the world taking care of everything, the darkness. That's why this darkness, these things that are happening around the world. And I sort of intuitively knew that, but because I was feeling like I would come home and cry and hear someone talking in a coffee shop, or just knowing that there were things happening in the world that were not good, and that I was powerless to do anything. But actually, when I got this information, I can now step into my power very quickly, and you can too. That's why I'm sharing this with you. So this, I'll call it an ET, said, step aside, it's okay, we're taking care of all that. We don't want you to worry about that. We just want you to keep spreading your messages and your healing messages about the light. And we want as many people on the planet to keep going with accessing their light, because the more of us that do that, the more light that comes in, the more of us that jumps into things that are going on social media that aren't good, or conversations that have been happening maybe at the dinner table within the family, or phone calls, or whatever. You're actually blocking the light from coming in, and you're lowering the frequency of yourself, those around you, and you're also blocking the spirit guides, the ancestors, the ascended masters, the light beings, everyone that's out there wanting to come in. You're actually like blocking that energy. It's a little bit like when I teach about intuition and I teach breath work. About every breath that you take in is actually filtering through a channel. And when we filter through negativity, that channel gets blocked, and the life force energy is unable to come through into our bodies. Well, it's the same thing. But we've got to be mindful, very mindful of what we're speaking. So speak love and light. The new language of the world, of the new world, is speaking the language of love and light. So a good suggestion that I make, I practice this myself, is in the morning, I just ask myself, how can I be the best I can be today? And that always comes up. Just speak about it. Speak about love and light. Speak about people's power. So it's people power. It's to do this, so we need to really step into, you've probably heard a lot about the feminine energy. So the feminine side of us, the whole population here, it's not male and female, it's the feminine side of every human being, is the love and nurturing side. So if you watch or take note of little children when they're playing, they're normally loving and caring for each other, for their parents, for their siblings, from a certain age, because they are in their feminine energy. The feminine energy is the light energy of love. It is the love and nurturing, the kindness, the compassion, the forgiveness. So start spreading your love language, your feminine energy. For the males, it just means that you need to take care of you by if you feel emotionally drained with what's going on, because males are normally feeling like they have to man up. In these times, you don't. Just take some time out for you, meditate, feel your heart, trust what it is guiding you to, and what you're feeling to be true. If you feel overwhelmed and you need to cry, allow the tears to come, because the masculine energy is you shouldn't cry, you should be strong, you should man up. A lot of females carry the masculine energy. It's too high. There needs to be balance. The masculine and the feminine need to come together. So we've had so much masculine energy for a very long time, and you'll know intuitively who those people are. No judgment on, it's not about race or gender or anything like that. It's about an energy that they carry. So the old paradigm energy is action, action, action. Make sure you tick those boxes, those goals, whatever. That's very masculine. We're in feminine, where it doesn't matter. If you can get that done today, that's all you need to do. If you want to change jobs and do this instead of that, that's okay too. If you want to just do nothing today and relax, that's okay too. So these are the love and nurturing things. Don't put pressure on yourself when you're trying to tune into your feminine. Just think feminine means if you looked at your mother or your wife or your sister or your grandmother, they're always loving and nurturing. They're always fussing and wanting to take care of you. That is your natural instinctive feminine, whether you're a male or a female. We all have it. But it's about tuning into that energy within yourself. So it's saying to yourself, am I in my feminine or am I in my masculine? If you're in your masculine, if intuitively, if you get the message from your heart, I'm too much in my masculine, it means you need to pull back, reassess, ask your mind, what if there's something else? What if this is true? Also about the love and light. So bringing in more love and light for yourself first. Fill your body up with love and light. Fill your heart up with love and light. Then go out. Remember that, like, I've been drinking ginger tea here, but remember they used to say, you know, the half cup and whatever, you know, which half. And I go, I don't know, even when I heard that years ago, I used to think, but my cup's always full. And that must have been just intuitively what I knew, because feel your cup needs to be full first. Your cup, your heart. Look at your heart like your cup. How much love have I fed into myself today? And then go out and give to your children, and without feeling guilty, because guilt and shame and I'm not worthy, they're all low vibration. They're dense, low dense energy. So rise up to the light and you will feel something within you that's so powerful. You'll just keep wanting to go that way and be in it, because it's so beautiful. It's so so euphoric. I love sharing this because when I had my near-death experience, that's exactly where I was taken to, that feeling of so euphoric, beautiful. There was no need to forgive because there wasn't anything to forgive anymore. There was no need to judge anything because there was no judgment there. There was no reason to feel like I'm not worthy, because there's none of that exists in our spiritual world. And in our spiritual world, there are many, many entities, many, many guides just waiting for us to call them in. And with the best way to call them in is when you're in your love and light. So when you say a little prayer, when you do your meditation, ask that they come in. There's one, I drew this just for myself last night. Now he is, and I've noticed that a lot of his information has been sent around. Now I've had these cards for a couple of years, and I've only since just before lockdown did I really get into getting to know who these are. So this is Commander Ashtar. Isn't he handsome? So he talks about the call to action and take charge, lead by example, walk your talk. But what he actually means is, walk your talk. I think a lot of people out there don't do that because they don't understand what it means. But if you're going to speak about love and light, you need to be doing that in every circumstance. It's like me, and I'm still learning myself. So if I'm going to talk about love and light and then I go out and do something, maybe jump on one of the movements and get aggressive and go, we're right and you're not, and this shouldn't have happened, like all past stuff, old paradigm stuff, it's not going to work the light. So it means that I'm not walking my talk. So remember, walk your talk. Write about things on social media. If you can't think of something that's light-hearted and nice and loving and kind, don't go on social media. I mean, if you feel you have to, just go on there and write something nice, or maybe write someone a beautiful comment. I mean, I receive lovely comments and I'm so grateful, but I also deliver lovely comments. I'll just flick through and I'll say to myself, oh, right, I need to put a post up, and when I put that post up, I'm going to do 5 minutes of just saying nice things to the first 5 people that come on my feed. Find something nice about what they're, to keep them uplifted. Yeah, because I don't attract, very rarely do I see something negative on my feeds anymore, because I've just chosen not to have that on my feed. So you can make a choice. You can guide your energy into your Facebook page or your Instagram, because we can. We're electricity. Like it's like power. If I want to put into my computer just all positive and say a little prayer and blessing to my computer or my social media pages, that all I want to attract is people with love and lights, or want love and light so I can help them, or I just want to connect with people through my computer on social medias and different sites that they come in through my computer and through my phone, so be it. I've just created that. So we are very, very powerful. I'm just mindful of the time, because I have to dash off. But it's been beautiful to have your energy. And look, it's my pleasure to share this with you. I love sharing and bringing people into their light and getting them to identify their power. If you want to know more information, please go and click on my links or website, and there's more information there about what I actually do. So have a beautiful, beautiful day, everyone. Remember, keep shining your beautiful light. Surround that light in your aura, and then radiate that out. Our aura energy it's like infinity. Just keep going out and out and out, and then we can call in. Just say who wants to come and invite in. Like, start with Archangel Michael, perhaps, or any archangels that that inspire you, and then ask that any avatars or ETs or whatever that are there that are full of love and light, that they come in as well to help you, and please present themselves, and they will. They'll come in an image, a color, or a light. You'll just feel them in your heart, and they're there to guide you into your next step, and you'll watch. Things will just happen. The book will show up, people will show up, you'll receive messages. That's how it goes. So sending you so much love and light. Have a beautiful, beautiful day. Namaste. See you next week. Bye for now.